Welcome. This video will transform how you see the world. It will also change how the world perceives you. Most people exist their whole lives but never truly see. They enter rooms and overlook the reality. They converse with people but miss the deception. They offer laughs and nods. They seem to agree. But deep down, they don't know what is really happening. They are not unintelligent. They are simply blind to human behavior. But you are different from them. You are here to gain a special power. It is the silent, unseen, unbeatable power of observation. This is the skill that divides the wise from the weak. This is the ability that lets you read others without a word. This is the skill that makes you mysterious and unforgettable. It makes you resilient. It is never taught in schools. It is not found in any textbooks. But it is used by spies, leaders, and CEOs. Psychologists and masters of human nature use it daily. And today, this power will become yours. And the best part is this. Every moment of this video will also boost your English. Your listening skills will improve. Your understanding and sentence flow will get better. So stay with me until the end. I promise you will see people differently forever. Let me ask you something. What do elite poker players and detectives have in common? What do FBI interrogators and top negotiators share? What about world-class entrepreneurs? They do not react first. They observe first. They can enter a room and know who is nervous. They shake a hand and sense if you are lying. They hear one sentence and understand your entire mindset. How is this possible? While everyone else is busy talking, they are busy watching. Imagine a man sitting quietly in an airport lounge. A little girl is next to him, perhaps 6 years old. She holds a teddy bear and swings her legs. She talks without stopping. "Daddy, are clouds faster than airplanes? Daddy, do teddy bears feel scared when they fly? Daddy, can I tell you a secret?" But the man gives no answer. He is smiling and nodding. He acts like he is listening. But if you look closely for a moment, you will see more. His smile vanishes when she is not looking. His fingers twitch on his coffee cup. His leg is bouncing from anxiety, not excitement. And a deep pain is visible in his eyes. It is a silent, hidden suffering. Most people in that lounge see a lovely father-daughter moment. But an observer sees a man preparing for a farewell. It is not a short goodbye, but a final one. 2 hours later, you see that man put a letter in her backpack. He kneels, hugs her very tightly, and whispers something. "Be strong for your mom." She does not understand yet, but the observer does. He then boards a flight completely alone. What is the lesson here? Observation reveals truths that words cannot express. While the world focuses on smiles, you see signals. While others hear only noise, you hear entire stories. That is the power we are unlocking in this video. The ability to see what most people will never notice. An observant person sees a fake smile behind a compliment. They notice the fear hidden by confidence. They detect insecurity behind arrogance. And they feel the pain behind complete silence. They see real people, not just their public personas. They feel the truth, not just the spoken words. While the world reacts with emotion, the observer moves with wisdom. And here is the secret. When you observe more, you will talk less. When you talk less, you reveal less about yourself. When you reveal less, people will fear and respect you. They will never underestimate you again, because you have become something different. Not a follower, and not just a listener. You are a watcher. You are a reader of human nature. You are a student of reality. This video is not only about observation, it is about awakening your silent genius. It is about making you smarter, calmer, and more powerful. You will be more respected in every room and relationship. Every opportunity will be different. It will help you understand friends better. You will know who you can trust. You can avoid being manipulated. You will win interviews and negotiations. And you will build emotional intelligence. This is the greatest success skill in the world. Skill 1. Watch the eyes, not the mouth. Most people are tricked by words. They believe what a person says, even if it is fake. But a skilled observer knows that words lie. The eyes, however, do not. The human face can produce a smile, the voice can sound very confident. But the eyes will always show the truth. In any conversation, the eyes reveal everything. They show if someone is truly happy or just pretending. They show if someone is confident or really nervous. They show hidden guilt, sadness, jealousy, fear, or love. Imagine two different people. A man has just betrayed his best friend. His lie caused genuine pain. Now he stands before his friend and speaks. "I am so sorry, man. It was a mistake. It will never happen again." His voice sounds gentle. His mouth says all the correct things. His body appears calm. He even offers a small smile. But if you watch his eyes closely, you will see something ODD. His eyes do not make direct contact. They shift left and right, planning the next lie. He blinks far too often, a clear sign of anxiety. His pupils are small, a signal of fear, not regret. That is the truth. His mouth said, "I'm sorry," but his eyes said, "I am scared of losing you." Not from regret, but from fear of consequences. A girl is in a coffee shop. She is scrolling on her phone. Suddenly, a boy she secretly likes walks in. She says absolutely nothing. Her eyes stay fixed on her phone. But if you observe her eyes, they quickly glance up. This happens when he is not looking. Her pupils get wider. Her blink rate slows down. The corners of her eyes soften. It is like her face is smiling from the inside. That is not just interest. That is attraction without a confession. She spoke no words, but her eyes told you everything. How can you practice this? Stop looking only at the mouth. Start to focus on the eyes instead. Look for these specific signals. Pupil size. Big pupils mean interest or emotion. Small pupils mean fear or tension. Eye contact. Strong contact shows confidence. Weak contact suggests nervousness or lying. Blink rate. A fast rate means stress. A slow rate means calm or intense focus. Micro movements, looking up or sideways when answering. This can mean thinking, hiding, or planning. Do not react right away. Just watch. Let people reveal who they are through their eyes. The eyes are controlled by the subconscious brain. The thinking brain does not control them. That means people cannot fake it. You can fake a laugh or a compliment, but you cannot fake the truth in your eyes. When you master this, you will know what people truly feel. You will know even when they say nothing. That is why this is skill 1. Skill 2, watch the feet. The most honest body part here is a fact that most people do not know. Regarding body language, the most honest part is the feet. It is not the face. Why is that? Most people attempt to control their faces. They smile when they are angry. They look calm when they are scared. But they forget to control their feet. and the feet will always reveal the truth. A man enters a job interview. He is smiling and sitting up straight. He talks about his big achievements. Everything appears perfect until you look down at his feet. His feet are not flat on the ground. They are shaking just a little. One heel is lifted up. His toes are pointing toward the door. That means his body wants to escape, not to stay. It shows he is not confident. He is either nervous or uncomfortable. Now, the smart observer, the interviewer, sees this. They ask, "So why do you want this job?" Quote, "Because they observed the feet and not the smile." They already know the man is faking his confidence. In a meeting, your team discusses a new project. Everyone seems to be in agreement. They are all smiling and nodding. But you look under the table. One person's feet are crossed very tightly. Their foot is tapping or bouncing quickly. Their toes point away from the rest of the team. That is your signal. This person does not support the idea. Even with a smile, they will resist silently, or they might betray the team later. You just saw the future by observing their feet. How can you practice this? In conversations, take a quick look at people's feet. Do this under a table, or while they are standing. Notice the direction. Are their feet pointing at someone? That shows interest. Are they pointing away? That shows discomfort or distance. Are they bouncing or tapping? That indicates anxiety or restlessness. Are they planted firmly on the ground? That shows confidence. Start small. Observe people in coffee shops or elevators. Do not be obvious about it, just notice. People do not train their feet to lie. They might train their voice, smile, or even their hands. But the feet move based on instinct, not logic. That is why this is Skill 2.0. It is a secret window into the truth right at your feet. If you learn only these two skills, eyes and feet, you will be more powerful. You will be more powerful than 90% of people. Because you will see what others do not see. And that is how the quiet become dangerous. That is how the ordinary become unforgettable. Skill 3, micro movements, the silent truth. The truth is never loud. The real truth is hidden in the smallest movements. These are the tiny actions that most people completely ignore. A powerful observer is not looking for big drama. They search for the small twitch or the quick scratch. They notice a sudden head turn or a tiny hesitation. This is where real emotion resides. Guilt can appear as a touch on the neck. Stress shows up in a lip bite. Anxiety lives in a shoulder twitch. A lie often hides behind a sudden cough. Most people will not even notice, but you will after this skill. Imagine a teacher asks the class a question. Who took the answer key from my desk last Friday? The room becomes completely silent. One student, Liam, sits very calmly. His voice is confident and his back is straight. He raises his hand and speaks. "Sir, I was not even here on Friday. I went home early. I know nothing about it." It sounds very honest, right? But you are observing carefully. You notice something. The moment the teacher asked, Liam scratched his nose. It was not a normal itch. It was a fast, nervous scratch. This happens when someone feels uncomfortable. Then, as he spoke, he looked slightly up and to the left. This is a direction people look when creating a story. It is not the direction for remembering a fact. And just as he finished his sentence, he touched his neck. This is a common self-soothing gesture. The body does this when under pressure or fear. Most of the class believed him. But the observer knows this boy is not confident. He is hiding something. It was not his words or his tone. It was those tiny micro movements. They screamed louder than his entire sentence. How can you practice this? Next time you speak with someone, focus on small motions. Fingers fidgeting, a hand touching the face, an eyebrow raise, lip biting. A sudden head tilt, clearing the throat right before answering. Watch what happens just before or after someone speaks. The moment before speech often reveals true emotion. It can show nervousness, doubt, or guilt. Do not stare, just observe quietly. The more silent you are, the more you will see. People are trained to control their faces. They even learn how to fake a smile. But micro movements are involuntary. They come from the nervous system, not the thinking brain. That is why when you learn this skill, you gain a superpower. Almost no one else in the room will have it. Small movements reveal big truths. If you learn to observe what is barely visible, you will understand. You will see what most people will never even notice. Skill 4. Listen to what they do not say. Everyone listens to words. Smart people listen to tone. But the most powerful observers listen to silence. They hear what people avoid, skip, or leave out. Sometimes the most vital part of a talk is what was never spoken. This is the observation skill of an emotional radar. You can sense what is missing. That gives you power. A mother asks her teenage daughter, Emily, a question. "So how was your weekend at your friend's house?" Emily smiles and replies, "Oh, it was great. We watched movies and stayed up late. We ate pizza and just chilled." The words sound casual and normal, but you are watching with care. Something is off. She mentioned movies, food, and sleep, but she did not say her friend's name even once. She avoided eye contact when talking about Saturday night. She never mentioned if the parents were home. And when the mom asked if they stayed home the whole time, Emily laughed for no reason. Then she said, "Yeah, of course." A powerful observer knows this kind of laugh. It is not amusement, it is discomfort. You do not need to accuse her. You do not need any proof. Her missing details and her emotional gap are the answer. Her strange silence around key questions tells you everything. She did not lie with her words. She lied with what she did not say. When someone tells you a story, ask yourself something. What are they not mentioning? Are there gaps in their timeline? Do they skip over people, places, or reasons? Watch for hesitation after simple questions. When people repeat a question back to you, what do you mean by that? Quote, "They might be buying time to invent a lie." Pay attention to an emotional mismatch. Are they too excited about something that should be serious? Are they too quiet about something that should be emotional? Ask a gentle follow-up question and watch their body. And who else was there? Quote, "What did you feel in that moment? What happened after that?" The answer or the reaction will tell you everything. Most lies are lies of omission. They are not lies of commission. People hide more than they outright lie. They avoid the topic or change the subject. They become vague. But if you listen to the silence, if you feel the space between their words, you will discover the hidden truth. What someone does not say could be the most important thing. And if you can hear the silence behind the story, you will never be fooled again. Skill 5. Notice the timing, not just the words. Most people focus on what someone says, but powerful observers focus on when and how they say it. Timing is everything in human behavior. The speed, delay, and rhythm in a person's voice reveals much. The hesitation in a reaction often shows more truth than the sentence. Think of it like music. A note played at the wrong time sounds incorrect. A pause in a beat breaks the rhythm. A fast drum beat can mean tension. A slow violin suggests sadness. Humans are the same way. We all speak with a certain rhythm. When that rhythm changes, something is happening inside. There are many small timing signals that smart observers notice. Hesitation before answering suggests deception or uncertainty. Answering too quickly can mean a prepared lie or fake confidence. Talking fast can show nervousness or an attempt to dominate. A sudden pause may indicate emotional discomfort or fear. Over-explaining after a delay means they are trying too hard. Timing shows you what is behind the curtain. You cannot see it with your eyes, but you can feel it in the beats between the words. A woman asks her boyfriend a simple question. "Where were you last night after 9 p.m.?" Now, watch this exchange closely. He smiles right away and says, "After 9? Oh yeah, I was just at Ryan's place. We were playing PlayStation. You know, nothing big. It sounds normal, but not to a true observer. Here is what is wrong with the timing. He answered too quickly. There was no thinking and no memory search. He did not ask for any clarification. For instance, why do you ask? Quote, innocent people often say things like that. He used the words just and nothing big. These are common words to make things sound harmless. And most importantly, he smiled too fast. He smiled even before he answered. This often means the response was already prepared in his head. You see, the issue is not the words. It is the speed, the rhythm, and the smoothness. Real memory retrieval takes time, but lies are often delivered fast and polished. In conversations, listen to the gap. The gap between the question and the answer is key. Is it too fast? Or too slow? Does it feel too perfect? Watch if they repeat your question back to you before answering. What do you mean? Or after 9 pages in. This is often genuine processing, not lying. Listen for overly rehearsed timing. When someone sounds like they are reading a script, real answers flow. Fake answers often feel too smooth or robotic. Pay attention to when people change their speed. Do they speed up when changing topics? Do they slow down during emotional questions? Let people talk. Do not interrupt them. You will learn more from when they speak than what they say. Timing is controlled by the emotional brain. It is not controlled by the logical brain. When people feel relaxed, their answers come naturally. When they are stressed, their rhythm changes. They speed up, pause, overthink, or try too hard. Timing is invisible honesty. Once you learn this, you can detect nervousness or guilt. You can sense fear and fake confidence without needing proof. Words are just the surface. But timing is a map to the truth. Learn to observe not just what people say. Observe when and how they say it. You will unlock a superpower most people never notice. Skill 6. Observe repeating patterns behavior is a loop. This is one of the most powerful skills in human observation. Humans do not behave randomly. They repeat themselves over and over again. They do this in cycles, habits, and tiny patterns. Most people do not change their behavior. They repeat it daily, weekly, and monthly. Once you learn to spot someone's behavior pattern, you will be able to predict their next move. You can predict their true personality and their weaknesses. You can even predict their future. Here is what powerful observers notice. Do they always blame others when things go wrong? Do they always change the subject when it gets emotional? Do they always complain but never take action? Do they always laugh when they are nervous? Do they always need to be the smartest person in the room? 1 or 2 times might mean nothing, but 3 times or more is a pattern. And patterns tell the real story, not words. You have a friend named Jason. Jason says, "This year will be different. I am going to fix my life. No more quitting. I'm serious." Do you believe him? He joins a gym and starts a new job. He begins waking up early. But a few weeks later, he stops answering messages. He quits the gym. He is late to work again. He says, "It's just stress. I will bounce back." 3 months later, he repeats the cycle again and again. Now, most people believe Jason every time because he says all the right things. But a true observer sees something deeper. Jason does not change. He just rotates through behaviors. He is not serious about growth. He is serious about feeling better temporarily. You do not need to fight him or lecture him. You simply observe. His pattern speaks louder than any of his promises. Track behavior over time, not just in single moments. Observe how people act when stressed, happy, sad, or angry. Look for what they do again and again. Listen for the repeated phrases they use. "It's not my fault. Nobody understands me. I'm just tired." Watch how they behave with different people. Are they always nice to bosses but rude to waiters? Do they always interrupt quiet people but pretend to respect confident people? Keep a mental note of these things. The purpose is to understand, not to judge. This person always plays the victim. This person always tries to win. This person always runs when things get hard. Do not focus on one bad moment. Look for the repeating loop. Because humans are not random. They are predictable if you observe their patterns. Psychology states that past behavior predicts future behavior. This means if you want to know what someone will do next, do not listen to their goals. Watch their history. Because patterns never lie, even when people do. People say, "I will change." But a true observer watches and asks, "Have you changed before, or are you just repeating?" Quote, "If you learn to observe patterns, you will not just see the truth, you will see the future." Skill 7. Study their clothing and grooming. Observation is not just about looking at what is alive. It is also about reading what someone puts on their body. Clothing is not just fashion. It is a message. It is a signal of how people view themselves. It shows what they want others to believe about them. It can show their emotional state or their desire to impress. It can show a need to hide, rebel, or belong. Every single person makes a statement with what they wear. This is true even for those who do not care about fashion. How they wear clothes and how they care for them matters. Your job as an observer is to decode that message silently. When someone gets dressed, they are not just putting on clothes. They are building a version of themselves for the world. That version might be a mask or a cry for attention. It could be a shield of protection or a hunger for validation. It could be a quiet sign of discipline or a mirror of their soul. Look closer at color choices and cleanliness. Notice the fit and comfort of their clothes. Do they repeat styles? Do they use too many accessories? Or are their clothes completely plain? Shoes are often the most honest part of an outfit. Hair and beards can be sharp or lazy, clean or chaotic. Every single detail tells a story. A man walks into a hotel lobby. Everyone turns to look at the loud guy. He wears a shiny gold watch and big sunglasses. He has a designer jacket and expensive cologne. His shoes are so bright they reflect the lights. People whisper, "He must be rich." But in the corner, another man walks in silently. He is wearing a simple dark t-shirt and plain pants. His shoes are clean but not expensive. His watch is old, his hair is neat, and his face is calm. Nobody notices him or thinks he is important. But the receptionist rises before he even speaks. She knows he owns the entire hotel. This man does not dress to impress. He dresses to feel at peace. His clothes are not loud because his identity is strong. And now you, the observer, understand something deeper. The loud man is performing wealth. The quiet man is carrying it. You learn the truth without a single word being spoken. Observe people in public places. How do they dress when they are relaxed versus working? Do they follow trends or wear the same clothes often? Do their shoes match their outfit, or do they look neglected? In conversations, watch if someone constantly adjusts their clothes. They might be nervous. Do they overdress in casual situations to prove something? Do they underdress in formal spaces? This could show rebellion or insecurity. Watch for outfit changes over time. Someone might dress darker after a heartbreak. Someone might switch from baggy to fitted clothes. This could mean a shift in confidence or identity. Never judge based on fashion taste. This is not about what looks good. This is about emotional communication. You are not reading style. You are reading self-image. Clothing is something people control completely. It is not unconscious like blinking. So when they choose it, repeat it, or hide in it, they are showing you a conscious piece of their inner world. This gives you clues that words never will. Fashion fades, but self-perception is permanent. And it always shows up in what people wear. If you learn to read what is on the body, you will learn what is hidden in the heart. Skill 8. Listen for repeated words and phrases. People do not just speak from their mouths. They speak from their patterns of thought. Nothing reveals mental programming more than repeated phrases. They are words they repeat without even realizing. Their favorite sentence, their emotional escape words, their go-to excuses, their mental walls, their inner fears and their invisible needs. A powerful observer listens for these echoes. These are parts of the mind that leak into speech repeatedly. Because repetition is not random, it is a mirror that always shows the truth. Our brain is wired to protect our emotional feelings. So when a person repeats a certain line over and over, that line is not casual. It is usually tied to their trauma or their worldview. It might be their fear of being misunderstood, or it could be their desire to feel in control. Even simple lines like these are important. I don't trust people easily. Nobody listens to me. I'm just tired these days. I always mess things up. I am too busy. Whatever happens, happens. These are not just words. They are emotional flags. And your job is to see what is underneath the flag. You have a coworker named David. Every time someone asks, "How are you?" he gives one answer. He smiles and says, "I'm fine." He says this every single time, even on days when he looks exhausted, even when his voice is flat and he looks pale. Even when you see him sitting alone, deep in thought, he still says the same sentence, "I'm fine." You, the observer, take a pause. You start listening to the fact that he says nothing else. There are no stories and no real response. There is no emotion behind his words. You realize this is not a greeting. This is a shield. David has built a wall made of just 2 words. I'm fine. He uses it to hide what he does not want others to see. He does not want attention. He wants protection. Now you understand something most people miss. He is not okay. He is hiding behind repetition. Listen to people very carefully. What phrase do they use in every single conversation? Is it positive? Everything happens for a reason. Is it negative? I'm always tired. Is it defensive? Trust me. Or, it's not my fault. Do not just hear the phrase. Ask yourself what emotion is behind it. Are they protecting themselves? Are they trying to be liked or feared? Keep track of your own repeated lines too. You will start observing yourself much better. And that is the greatest observation of all. Notice the tone shift when they say it. Are they joking or being serious? Are they using it to avoid something deeper? People repeat what they truly believe, and they repeat it most when they do not feel safe. These repeated phrases are like emotional leaks. If you learn to listen, truly listen, you will hear someone's entire life story. It is in the same 5 words they use over and over. Words are tools, but repeated words are emotional fingerprints. If you listen with care, you will not just understand their words, you will understand WHO they are. Skill 9. Watch how they treat the powerless. This is the true test of character. You can fake a smile, you can dress well, you can speak with charm and control your eye contact. But there is one moment people show their real self. It is when they are with someone who has no power, someone with no status, no fame, and no value to offer them. How a person treats someone who can do nothing for them, that is their true identity. And most people fail this test because the truth hurts. You will observe people who seem very kind and friendly, but the moment they interact with a waiter or a janitor, or a receptionist, a security guard, or a driver, they change completely. Their tone becomes sharp and their words become rude. Their eyes stop seeing the human in front of them. That is when you realize they were never truly kind. They were just performing kindness for the powerful. This skill shows you the hidden cruelty in people, and once you see it, you can never unsee it. When someone interacts with a lower status person, do they smile the same way? Do they listen or constantly interrupt? Do they say thank you or act entitled? Do they use their name or ignore them like an object? Do they try to show dominance or create a connection? The answer reveals who they really are. You are standing in a luxury hotel lobby. A businessman is talking to the manager. He is smiling, laughing, and using charming words. He seems confident, polished, and respectful. Then a janitor walks by with a mop bucket. The water splashes accidentally near the man's shoes. The businessman steps back and snaps. "Can't you see where you're going? Stupid." He does not yell or curse. But the tone changes. His eyes go cold. His smile disappears. He looks at the janitor like a problem, not a person. The janitor apologizes softly, and the businessman does not even respond. Now you, the observer, saw something most people missed. That man's charm is only for the powerful. To the powerless, he shows his real face. Watch how people behave with waiters, drivers, and cleaners. Observe them with staff at airports, hotels, or hospitals. Anyone below them in status, money, or power. Compare this behavior with how they treat their boss, or their crush, or their rich and famous friend. Ask yourself if there is a difference. Is there a change in tone, posture, energy, or language? If the answer is yes, they are not truly kind. Trust this simple rule. If they are rude to the waiter, they will be rude to you someday too. This is the purest test of character in the entire world. There is no acting and no pretending. People do not feel the need to impress the powerless, so they become lazy in their manners. And that is when the truth slips out. You are not judging. You are simply observing what others ignore. That gives you emotional protection and wisdom. Forget the fancy talk and the polished words. If you want to know who someone really is, watch how they treat someone who can do nothing for them. That is the real truth. Skill 10. Stay calm to see the truth. You have now learned 9 incredible observation skills, from eyes and feet to silence and patterns. But none of it matters if your mind is noisy. You cannot observe when you are emotional or angry. You cannot see clearly when you are overthinking or reacting. You cannot observe when your ego just wants to be right. Because the more you talk in your head, the less you will see with your eyes. And that is the final secret. True observation requires inner silence. You must learn to be still, even when others are not. You must watch without jumping to conclusions. You must feel without overreacting. You must listen without interrupting. That is when the world truly opens up. Most people are too busy judging. He is probably lying. She is just showing off. I know people like this. This always happens to me. I cannot believe they said that. This internal noise creates blindness. Instead of seeing, you start projecting. Instead of observing, you start assuming. And the truth gets buried under your own thoughts. Imagine you are standing in front of a mirror, but the mirror is cracked and constantly shaking. The room behind you might be perfectly clear, but the mirror shows a distorted, broken image. That is what happens when your mind is full of anger or ego, or judgment, anxiety, and drama. You are not seeing people as they are. You are seeing them through the broken lens of your emotions. To observe clearly, you must first fix the mirror. And that mirror is your mind. In every conversation, remind yourself of this. I am here to see, not to react. Pause before you respond. Even 2 seconds of silence will give you immense power. It is more powerful than 1,000 fast words. Breathe slowly during interactions. A calm breath creates a calm brain. A calm brain leads to clear observation. Remove your personal filter. Do not observe based on your mood or your past trauma. Observe based on the other person's real signals. Do not rely on your imagination. Say less. Watch more. The quieter you become, the more the world reveals. Observation is not just an external skill. It is an internal discipline. You cannot control other people, but you can control your attention. And that attention, when calm and pure, becomes your greatest weapon. The most powerful observers are not the loudest. They are the calmest. They do not chase attention or jump to react. They simply watch silently, wisely, and patiently. And that is why they always see the truth, long before anyone else does. That is skill 10. So now you understand the reality. Most people walk through life blind. Not because they cannot see, but because they never learned how to observe. But you are different now. You have learned to read the eyes and hear the silence. You can catch the patterns and feel the hidden truth. The truth is in smiles, timing, and habits. You can understand people without them saying a word. You are no longer just a listener or a talker. You are a watcher, a silent reader of the human soul. And this changes everything. Because when you observe more, you speak better. You think more clearly. You choose wisely. You protect yourself from lies. And you attract respect without even trying. This is not just a skill. It is a superpower. The power to see people for who they truly are, not who they pretend to be. And the more you observe others, the more you understand yourself. Now listen to me, my friend. Use this power with wisdom, not to judge or to control. Use it to protect your peace, to build deeper connections, to live a life guided by truth, not by noise. Because the quietest person in the room is often the one who sees the most. And now, that person is you. If this video helped you in any way, if you learned something powerful, if you felt something change inside you, if this made you look at people differently, then do not forget to subscribe to this channel, because here we do not just talk, we grow, we learn, we master English through real transformation. So hit that subscribe button, share this with someone who needs it. And remember, the world is full of noise, but the real power belongs to those who observe. I will see you in the next one. Stay silent, stay sharp, and stay powerful.